Hey guys, hope everybody's having a good day. I want to go over our first project of our 2019-2020 school year. And one thing that I really enjoy doing as an artist myself is having exercises that I know are helping me to become better at drawing. So, our first project is going to start off with a blind contour drawing. So here is an example of one that I did probably a year or so ago. A blind contour drawing is where you're drawing an object or a person without looking at your paper. So the exercise is to teach you to really pay attention to what you're seeing and drawing what you're seeing rather than just what we already know. So obviously this does not look like a typical person's face, right? So we're just gonna kind of jump into it. What you will all be starting with is a piece of watercolor paper and either a marker or a pen, something that is not erasable. All right, so I've grabbed a Sharpie, that way that you can see my lines. And I'm also going to grab a reference image. I like to go on to Pinterest. And so here's what I'm going to use. I just found a picture of somebody. You can look through magazines. You can look in the mirror and do yourself if you want to. All right, and then you're just gonna have to trust the fact that I'm not looking at my paper. And if you have difficulty with this, and you can practice at home, you could always put like a paper plate over your pencil or your pen, whatever it is that you're using, and that will sort of shield your eyes from your paper. Anyways, so I just want to pick a spot on my reference picture, and then I'm gonna keep my marker down on the paper, and this way I don't lose track of where I'm at. So I'm never gonna pick it back up because I'm gonna be using my eyes and I'm gonna trace around, and I am gonna go through and do some of the little details in her ear. I'll come around, I'll do the mouth and everything. But if I can keep my eyes focused on where I'm at in the picture and having my hand making that same movement that my eyes are moving with, then that's teaching me to draw what I see. I could sit here and draw a face and never have to look at this because I know what a face looks like, but it's not gonna be this face. So this is gonna help us to draw what we see rather than what we know. Okay, so here we go. surprised that it's as put together as it is. So one thing that you probably noticed me doing was trying to find my way back. Like once I got over here, I was trying to decide, do I want to go off here? Do I need to somehow come back up so I could work on the eyebrow and eye? But don't get so caught up in the fact that you're worried about where you're at on the page and that you're trying to make this look nice. It doesn't matter what it looks like. It doesn't matter what's happening. It matters that you are having your hand do those same movements that your eye is seeing, okay? That's what's gonna help your drawings when you actually are looking at your paper to look more like what it is that you're referencing, okay? In class, what we will do is you'll do several of these as kind of a warm-up, and then I will give you your actual watercolor paper, and then we are going to do a mixed media project, okay? You're going to pick three, count them, 3 different mediums. All right, so what I might do is I might use some acrylic paint, and I might use watercolors, colored pencils. All right, so then how this will work is on my drawing here, you should see that there's a lot of like closed in spaces. My marker's kind of going out here. So we do want to come back in and just make sure that everything has a closed space. This isn't, so I need to close this off right here and try to have it make sense to, you know, what it is that you're doing. I can close this off right there. This could be closed. They're going to be different colors, okay, each section, and I will show you exactly what I mean. Just for color's sake and being able to use a little bit more, I'm gonna just kind of close off this section and make it to where this here is a section, this is a section, and this is a section. So for instance, I am going to make up, I'm gonna make up her face out of skin tones. These don't have to be her skin tones. I would say they just need to be skin tones of some sort. So I can have this here. All right, then I could have another skin tone in a different medium. Here. And basically we can reference back, well, I was gonna say to this, but you can see here, this was a skin tone, and I think because of the medium that I was using, I didn't have a ton of options. But with using 3 different mediums, you should have plenty of options to choose from, okay? So it doesn't necessarily have to be the oranges and everything. what I've done is I've come in and I've put in acrylic paint background. I want to say that there's only a few spots where I didn't do just kind of flat color, and that's just to sort of draw some extra attention to these locations. So right here around this eye, here with the lips, so you can see that by doing the dark to the light in the middle, that's showing that the lip is rounded. Same thing here, the dark to the light, and here as well. Dark here, it's getting lighter, going darker, so it has that curved appearance. And then other than that, I just tried to stick with colors that were somewhat similar. Here I know I went kind of off. I was thinking more eyeshadows, but and then her lips have a little more lipstick. The white here was actually intended to be her teeth. They just ended up kind of in an odd space. So that was the reason that I kept that part white. So once this is dry, I'm gonna come back in and I'm gonna clean up my black edges throughout here, and then that will just sort of make the whole thing have a more finished, crisp, and even somewhat graphic design type feel to it. To have nice clean lines. I'm gonna try not to have a wobbly hand. So what I'll probably do is I'll do that off camera and then I'll show you the final piece. Okay, so I've gone back over the black lines. So you'll notice also my choice of background that I went with. I chose this because I saw a lot of like orangey pinks and tried to go with sort of a complementary, but nothing that was going to draw too much attention away from the figure itself. So I went sort of a muted greenish blue color. I'm hoping y'all are all going to really enjoy this. I know I enjoy doing blind contour drawings, and the more you do it, you'll notice that you're getting better at drawing things that actually look like what you're trying to draw, rather than just, well, it looks like a person, but it doesn't look like the person that I was intending it to look like, because you have this habit of drawing the same nose or the same eyes. But that's really what makes us all different, is the fact that we do have all of these different features, and if we can just teach ourselves to draw what we see, then our art will be just so much better. So I hope you all have a good rest of the week, and I look forward to seeing you all and getting to start this project. Before I go, I do want to say, I can tell you right now, probably the biggest challenge that we're going to have, if we will make it through, is as you begin to draw, you'll notice that most of y'all will probably be very small on the page. I want you to try to make an effort to practice at home drawing anything. It doesn't have to be people. You could draw objects like just some scissors, and you could just set up a little still life for yourself and just draw scissors. But try to focus on really drawing what you're seeing, having your hand move as your eyes move along the edge of the object, and then focusing on not being too small on your paper, okay? Because we don't want a tiny face here floating in the middle of the page. We want to use up the room that we're given on this sheet of paper, okay? So practice it, and we'll practice it in class as well. You'll have some warm-ups and everything. Once we feel confident that you can use the whole paper, yeah, then we'll get started on our actual piece. You'll choose your 3 mediums. It shouldn't be a long, drawn-out process. This, I believe, only took me about 30 minutes. If you can't finish it in one class period, which I don't think you will, you should be able to finish it in 2 sessions with me. Get to practicing, and I'll see you in our next class.